Good morning, Jess.
Good morning, Samantha.
How are you?
Welcome to 8:30.
It's another brisk morning.
When I put this on, I was like, if I dress for a day of work, I have to look like I'm going to work.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't need anyone's approval on your outfit, do
Hang
you?
on, don't you like it?
No, I'm not saying yes or no. I'm just saying that you are a workman that needeth not be ashamed because you're being approved by God.
That's right.
You don't need my approval on your outfit.
Great.
Although I do approve of it. I love that colour. I have a similar
like a Lego person.
similar jumpsuit, but mine's not made for work. Mine's for
Play.
play.
Well, I might play today as well. But first, we're going to talk about Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 9. 9. Can you believe 9?
Yes, I can. And we're coming to the end of that first section of Proverbs.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we'll be coming to a new author soon. But for now, we finish here with Solomon's work.
Great. And there's 18 verses.
The shorty.
Jasper mentioned something today, and it was just as I was leaving to come to your cabin. But he said the first 6 verses in here, he noticed, was about wisdom. I mean, it's all about wisdom. Mm-hmm. But the next 6 after that were about fearing the Lord and the acting out of it. And then the last 6 are about the foolish woman and strange woman.
Okay.
So
666.
Well, it's just 1/3, 1/3,
Yeah,
1/3. Yeah. I know we haven't read it yet, but perhaps as we're reading it, you'll look at that too, because I just heard him say that as I came out the door.
He's a smart guy.
Well, I've had it on repeat
Yeah.
in our house.
Yeah,
So everyone's
good.
like,
Getting proverbed up.
yeah, that's right. So let's read it. You want to go?
Yeah. Wisdom hath builded her house. She hath hewn out her 7 pillars.
She hath killed her beasts, she hath mingled her wine, she hath also furnished her table.
She hath sent forth her maidens. She crieth upon the highest places of the city.
Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. As for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him,
Come, eat of my bread and drink of the wine which I have mingled.
forsake the foolish and live, and go in the way of understanding.
He that reproveth a scorner getteth to himself shame, and he that rebuketh a wicked man getteth himself a blot.
Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee.
Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding.
For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be increased.
If thou be wise, thou shalt be wise for thyself. But if thou scornest, thou alone shall bear it.
A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing.
For she sitteth at the door of her house on a seat in the high places of the city.
To call passengers who go right on their ways.
Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. And as for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him,
Stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant.
that he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell.
It's just like, it's cementing what was laid in the previous couple of chapters, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. You know how some people, especially, when they're little, they're like, oh, imagine going to a cemetery in the dark. Oh, how spooky, and all the rest of it. Do you know what's more spooky? A strange woman. And that she's got, it says that those last 2 verses, but he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell.
Yeah, he's not thinking about all the men that have gone before him.
No.
In her myrrh and cinnamon draped bed.
And aloes.
Aloes.
Not alloys.
I did put some notes about that in the
alloys.
previous, it was chapter 7, wasn't it? We've got some more info about aloes.
Always learning.
This is important as well. So in verse 4, where it's talking about whoso is simple, that doesn't mean just, it's, what we would call simple today is like easy,
Decluttered.
simple, or even a bit stupid, if you talk about a simple person, it's a sinning thing.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end where we're talking about another word, which is foolish.
Okay. Ooh. Yep.
That's not just foolish as in not very smart. That is talking about
choosing to be
sin.
Sinful. It's an action.
A foolish woman is a sinful woman.
You're actually choosing. You know that you're choosing to be a fool.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. So wisdom builds houses. She's got 7 pillars.
Why? Is that significant? Do you know? 7 pillars?
Well, 7's God's number.
Yeah.
I wonder if, you know how, and I haven't looked into this, so I'm just talking. But, you know, that the earth has got pillars. Like, you know, so, and pillars, when I'm imagining what a pillar looks like, you know, like big solid things that are really structurally sound and beautiful and magnificent and hold things together. Wisdom has that. It has such strength to it. It's got great bones, right? So she's got an amazing house with 7 pillars. Sound.
She's furnished her table. She's mingled her wine.
So
she's
do you know
ready.
what mingled means?
Doesn't it mean you've watered it down?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's ready for guests to come.
Yeah.
People who want to come and get wisdom.
That's right.
She's invited us all to come and get it.
Exactly what Proverbs is, isn't it? It's like a big table saying, this is wisdom.
It's nice.
Come and sit at the wisdom table.
Don't go down to that other lady's house.
No. And everybody's welcome at the wisdom table.
Yeah.
Like, this is a cry to everyone. It doesn't matter who you are or your past or what you have or haven't known.
And I think it's important to remember as well, at the time that this was written, we didn't have Jesus. Jesus hadn't died on the cross for our sins.
Yep.
So people who weren't keeping the law were going to hell, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So
exactly.
when it's saying...
Glory, come here. Glory.
Oh, her
There's
friend's
wisdom
here.
calling.
Her friend's here.
She's calling from the chief places. Come, friends, get wisdom, she said.
Yeah. What were we saying? Her guests are in the depths of hell. The previous people who had been there were in the depths of hell. That's not a metaphor.
Wow.
That's where they were. If they were there committing adultery with her, that's where they've gone, and that's where this next guy's going. Fortunately for us, we're now in the age of grace. So if you are committing these acts...
Or any sinful acts.
Because they're all the same in God's eyes, true. Yeah. If you're saved, you don't go to hell because Jesus has forgiven you.
Yeah, that's right.
With his blood. But if you're not a Christian, if you don't believe, you don't have to believe in hell. That's sadly where you'll be going.
That's right. It's very black and white with God.
Yeah.
There's no in-betweens.
And like the table of wisdom, God's table of salvation is inviting everyone there.
That's right.
Everyone's invited.
You
can't be angry that you haven't RSVP'd. That's up to you. That's your choice.
Wow. I was just thinking before when you were talking about, people that have done things in the past. And remember Jesus meets at the well that woman?
Yep.
And she's like on her 5th husband. And
that wasn't her husband?
Wasn't even her husband now. I think she'd had 4 husbands or 5 husbands, and the one that you're with now isn't even your husband.
Yeah.
And she goes back and she says to all the village, you know, I've met a man that knew everything about me.
Yeah.
Like, God knows everything about you.
Glory, come. Glory, come. Up here.
And God knows everything about me.
Up. Good girl. Sit, stay. Good girl.
Good wisdom. God knows everything about Sam.
Bye.
God knows everything about each of us. And he's calling all of us to wisdom. He's saying, my wisdom will not leave you unsatisfied. But if you go to the wisdom of the world, you're just going to wreck yourself.
Yeah.
It's best not to.
Yeah.
What a table. So this is like Proverbs about the wise table.
That's also important to remember in verse 17. Stolen waters are sweet and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. You know, it's like, when you're a little kid, you go and steal, not your children, but when I was little, you go and steal a cookie from the cookie jar.
Do you? Okay.
I did, definitely.
Okay.
Or you eat the Milo out of the Milo tin.
Oh, I've done that. But
But in secret.
everybody knew that I was doing it.
Oh, so in my house, they didn't know I was doing it.
I'm too loud. You may be better at like being quiet.
I would do this trick when, if we got home from school before my mum got home, I would get a cup, like a mug, and then I would put ice cream in it and put Milo on top of it. And then I would be thinking, if they come home, they won't know that it's ice cream. How clever am I?
Because it's a cup.
Because it's a cup.
Oh.
And I would just have a spoon in it, and they would think, oh, she's having a nice drink. But I wasn't. But that secret
Right.
is more pleasant. It's more pleasant to eat that than for your mum to give you a bowl of ice cream. Well, it was for me when I was a child.
Right.
I was a human and I was unsaved.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can understand that for people
Yeah.
who want to, when you
something
think
in
about
secret.
it, if you're a married person, like we spoke about with the woman in Proverbs 7, her husband was away.
Yes.
She's enticing other men. If what she wants is to do the marital act, she can do that with her husband.
That's right.
But she's finding more pleasure in doing it in secret with someone else. It's a trap.
It is a trap. And like we've read about before, it could be lovely at the moment, but where are you going? To the depths of hell. So it's actually good to know the destination that you're choosing, because you might, it's like, I liked Chitty Chitty Bang Bang as a little person. And that evil guy that entices the kids into his little lolly shop, and then it turns into be a cage and he locks them. You haven't seen it. It's a bit scary, actually, that scene. Not
Sounds
recommending
like the gingerbread house.
Yeah, like Hansel and Gretel style. But that is actually a good representation of what the strange woman is like.
Right.
She entices you in. This is going to be delicious.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it leads to the depths of hell. It's gross and foul. Best to know the destination. If I gave you a heads up, hey, don't go there.
Yeah.
Looks like great marketing.
Yep.
You taste the food. Then for the whole night after, you're vomiting.
Yes.
Your guts out.
Yeah.
Because that food
Was poison.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, thank you, God, for giving us clear instructions.
Yes.
Clear paths to follow
Yeah.
that we know are the good paths.
Super wise.
Because without that, we're just, none of us are good.
No.
Without God's instruction, we're lost.
That's right. Well, thanks for joining us for chapter 9. Hope that encouraged you, and please share what you've learnt in the comments below if you feel to, and keep reading.
Yeah. And stay tuned for our date of when we'll be doing a live.
Yes.
We'd love to have everyone join us.
Interactive.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Goodbye.